As of me making this video, Animal Crossing New Horizons has been out for over 2 years, and yet there's still so many secrets to discover. Island life is packed full of all kinds of different details and characters, so there's still tons to learn about. So, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at 8 secrets you might still not know in Animal Crossing New Horizons. We'll mostly be focusing on ones that were added after the huge 2.0 update in November 2021. Starting us off, did you know that you can put things inside of the science pod? This new item is really cool, and you can even see it in Petrie's house. It's one of the few items that has a functionality like this where you can actually put something inside and see it float around. In fact, I think it's the only one that works exactly like this. Now, this only works for the smaller miscellaneous items. It can't be another big piece of furniture, but for example, you can see the lucky cat in here. I just wonder what kinds of experiments are going on in this science pod, honestly. It's a little bit sinister. For number 2, did you know that villagers will sometimes have incredibly self-aware dialogue about Animal Crossing New Horizons? This specifically relates to lazy villagers, where sometimes they will question whether they are actually living inside of a simulation and that the island is just a game made to amuse someone else. A lot of people talk about villager dialogue not being that great in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I definitely think it could be better, but this dialogue honestly proves that there is some really amazing stuff to discover. Of course, you do have to get lucky enough to actually get this dialogue from a villager, and as far as I know, it's only lazy villagers that see this, but it makes it all the more worthwhile to interact with your characters when you can get gems like this. Although, it is a little bit concerning that they're becoming self-aware. Let's hope they don't take over our islands. For number 3, we have a small little feature that I think you will enjoy. These castle items were added in 2.0, and did you know that you can actually put things on top of them? Like with a science pod, it has to be a smaller miscellaneous item, and it can be dropped right on top of the tower. I just think this is a really neat little detail that makes these amazing items even better. You can add your own unique little flair to them to make them even more interesting. Personally, I like putting gyroids up the top of here because it's like they're little guards guarding over the castle of our islands. If you've done this yourself, then let me know in the comments section what items you've put on top of the towers. I'd love to get some more inspiration. For number 4, if you invite a special character with an amiibo to the Roost who happens to be a little bit younger, they will actually have a Roost Sable Cookie instead of a coffee. You can see here that this applies to Cappen's daughter, and it also applies to Daisy May as well. The Roost Sable Cookie is actually a recipe that you can get from Brewster and cook yourself if you like the item. Something really interesting though is the fact that Timmy and Tommy actually don't have the cookies when they arrive to the Roost. They will instead have a coffee. This either implies that they're not as young as they look, or it's just the fact they need that coffee for the long nights working at Nook's Cranny. Although Daisy May does her own work as well, so the logic is a little bit confusing. Timmy and Tommy have been in the game since the very start, so I guess it makes sense that they probably are older than they look. Not everyone can be as tall and as majestic as Tom Nook after all. For number 5, if you head over to the Happy Home Paradise office during a major holiday in the game such as Halloween or Toy Day, you might find that Lottie has actually decorated her office. The Happy Home Paradise archipelago doesn't really get involved with what's going on your main island, but this is a nice little acknowledgement of some of the more major events. A really cool little detail is that Lottie actually carves her pumpkin to look like her. It has the same eyelashes that she does. I kinda wish they did a little bit more for the holidays in the game. I think it'd be really fun if there were proper celebrations going on over here as well, and maybe some exclusive items to get. But still, I do think it's cool that they acknowledge it in their own little way, despite the fact that it's basically perpetually summer over on the archipelago. For number 6, if you've used the ability to redecorate your villagers' homes to look however you want, then there's an interesting little detail that happens if you don't add in a cooking stove or a crafting table. As it turns out, if you don't add these items in, the villagers will actually replace something in their home so that they can put them out. That means that your villagers will always be able to craft an item or cook, even if you don't give them the means to do so, which is pretty resourceful. As you can see here, this is Bob's crafting table, and it's not one I gave to him. In his house, he doesn't have one. I didn't have the room to put it in, but still, he will bring it out when he needs to craft a recipe. It's just a little bit of a shame that he always seems to have duplicate recipes, and he doesn't really give me a choice whether I want to keep it or not. Still, it's interesting that villagers can modify their own homes like this. Redecorating our villager homes was definitely one of the best new features that they introduced in Animal Crossing New Horizons. It happens to be one of my absolute favorites, and you unlock the ability to do this once you've completed the Happy in Paradise DLC, so it's definitely worth getting it if you're able to. I hope Bob likes the home that I made for him. I think it fits his personality very well. He seems pretty happy with it. For number 7, we're back to the Roost. Now, if you invite a regular villager with an amiibo who happened to live on your island in the past but doesn't currently, they will actually remember you. They will have some special dialogue where they will remember living on your island, which is incredibly cool. This is especially cool because in most other places in the game, your previous villagers don't remember you at all, which is definitely a bit of a shame. I remember back in Animal Crossing New Leaf, you could actually see your past villagers wandering around the main street, which was a really cool little detail. And although we don't get anything like that here, the fact that you can invite back your past villagers and they will have some memory of the island life does make me really happy. I feel like villager interactions like this one are honestly super underrated, so I had to mention this within this video. For number 8, if you actually turn up to a KK Slider concert, which is something I don't really do too often, and you play a song with him, it turns out you can clap along with your villagers in the little cutscene. I'm pretty sure this feature was added with the 2.0 update, and it coincided with the ability to clap along to Cap'n's songs when you go on a boat ride with him. It's just a fun little interaction that you can enjoy with your villagers. You will actually have to have them sitting down at this area if you want to get them involved, but I think it's really cute and I'm happy that they added this little detail in. So yes, those were 8 secrets that you still might not know in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Let me know though down in the comments section, how many of these did you already know? I'd also love for you to share any secrets that you've discovered down in the comments section, especially ones that popped up after the huge 2.0 update. If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing New Horizons videos. I want to say thank you to these channel members for supporting me and the content that I make here. Their contributions allow me to keep making videos. If you want to support these videos and get some great perks for doing so, like access to our members only Discord, exclusive Bob emojis and much more, then click the join button down below the video or the link in the description.